What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and it's time for the game week 4 predictions. It's been a good game week. West Ham are doing brilliant. Man City are flawless. Let's get in to game 1 of game week 4. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and let's get into it. Alright, so game 1 is Luton Town v West Ham United. It is Luton's first game at home this season, so it's a very important game. Kenilworth Road is finally ready. Obviously they had to have some instalments made to make it Premier League proven, but it's now finally ready. Big game for Luton Town. They're going to try and get their first points on the board. They lost to Chelsea, then they have also lost to Brighton. That's the one. They lost to Brighton, so they're not doing so well. West Ham, on the other hand, I don't know what's gone on. They beat Brighton and they beat Chelsea 2 weeks in a row. How? I don't know, but David Moyes is a genius or something like that. I sold my car to Lucas Paquetá. Antonio's on form. The West Ham team is playing really well. James Ward-Prowse is just a monster, to be fair. And they've signed Mohamed Kudus as well, so this could be his debut, which I'm excited for. He is a quality player. Brighton were after him, Everton were after him, Arsenal were after him, and it was West Ham who got him. They are now second in the table. Luton Town, the only player that I was halfway impressed with was probably Ross Barkley, even though they lost 3-0. I don't see Luton beating this West Ham team on brilliant form. It is at home. I feel like the fans will be there. I'm going to say West Ham 2, Luton 0. Next match is two pointless teams at the moment. Sheffield United at home against Everton. Sheffield United nearly pulled off the draw of the century. They were 1-1 against Man City, then Rodri just broke their hearts in the 89th minute. Both these teams need points. They need points, and this is the game that Everton need to win. Obviously, they've escaped relegation. Well, we've escaped relegation. I'm a Everton fan. We've escaped relegation for the past 2 years. It's not looking good, is it? Sheffield United wanting to get some points on the board as well. Goose Harmer, I've been impressed with that new signing from Coventry that Sheffield has brought in. Everton as well, they've brought in Beto and Danjuma. Beto more recently, obviously. Hopefully he can provide more goals to this Everton team. It's what we really need. I don't know if I can back anyone in this. I'm going to go Sheffield 0, Everton 0. It's Man City at the Etihad versus Fulham Football Club, and two sort of surprise results last week for them. Man City obviously against Sheffield United. I said 6-0. I actually said 6-0. It was 2-1 and barely 2-1 as well. That would have been embarrassing if I would have got that completely wrong, but I got the win right. And Fulham, they drew 2-2 to Arsenal, which is a brilliant result. They stopped their flawless run so far, so that's a brilliant point for Fulham as well. That's really shown that they're here to stay in the Premier League. Man City, I still think they're too good for Fulham. Haaland had some issues last game. Was kind of missing a few sitters. I think him and Darwin Núñez kind of swapped, but you know, it is what it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, I'm going to go with Man City 3, Fulham 1. Next up at Stamford Bridge is Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest, and obviously Chelsea did thrash Luton in their last game 3-0. Raheem Sterling and Nicholas Jackson got his first goal in the Chelsea shirt. May I say, Malo Gusto, fair play, 2 assists for the right back, filling in for Reece James. Obviously he does have his injury. But yeah, he did a brilliant job. Nottingham Forest, on the other hand, how unlucky. They just fell apart. They were 2-0 up in 5 minutes against Man United, and then it just went downhill. Bruno Fernandes penalty put the nail in their coffin when they lost 3-2. Great comeback from United, but still, Forest should be more composed than that, I think. I could see this being a close game for some reason. Chelsea are the clear favourites, but I could see this being a very good game. I think I've still got to back Chelsea though. Pochettino. Raheem Sterling right now is brilliant. Thiago Silva, I've got him on my FPL team. So yeah, I'm going to back Chelsea. I'm going to go Chelsea 1, Forest 0. Close one though. Next up, we're heading to Turf Moor, and it is Burnley versus Tottenham Hotspur of London. Last week, Aston Villa beat Burnley 3-1, proving that they are still of a really high quality. I think that VK's Burnley has been put under a lot of pressure, a lot of high expectations from the start of the season because it's Vincent Kompany, but I think I regret putting them so high in my predictions. I put them 14th, but I could see them being well in that relegation dogfight, honestly. They have struggled. They've not got any points yet, I don't think. If that is correct, I think they have no points. Let me just check. Yes, they'd have no points. They have no points yet. Obviously, Spurs on the other hand, they're doing quite well. They're doing quite well. Ange Postecoglou, I underestimated him. I really regret my Spurs predictions. I put them 10th. I think I'm a mug. Spurs are playing really beautiful attacking football, which is what you love to see from Spurs, isn't it? None of this Conte stuff. And Postecoglou, I do rate him, if I'm honest with you. I do rate him. I don't see Burnley getting points out of Ange. I'm going to go Tottenham 2, Burnley 1, I think. Next up in London, and it is Brentford taking on Bournemouth. Now, obviously Bournemouth didn't have a great game week last week. They lost 2-0 to Tottenham. But Brentford on the other hand, they are doing pretty well. Wissa and Brian and Bemo are absolutely cooking. They're playing brilliantly. They haven't lost yet. 2 draws and 1 win. Bournemouth on the other hand, 2 losses and 1 draw. So it's not good for the Cherries at the moment. It could be worse, but not that good. The Bees are doing quite well. 5 points on the board for them. I really underestimated this Brentford team, to be honest with you. I thought without Ivan Toney they were going to really struggle, but they're really on par. They're doing quite well. They are doing really well. Wissa, Mbemo, Kevin Schade as well scored a beautiful goal recently. His solo effort was absolutely brilliant. Obviously the lad from SC Freiburg. Bournemouth, I don't see it happening. I do not see it happening. I think Brentford are going to thrash them in this game. Brentford 3, Bournemouth 0. Heading to the south of England now, and it is Brighton taking on Newcastle. This could have the potential of being a very good game, but let's talk about Brighton's last fixture. A 3-1 loss to West Ham. Sorry, I keep sniffling. I've got a blocked nose. I've got to help him, man. Yeah, Brighton Newcastle. This could be interesting. They lost 3-1 to West Ham, and I think they found out how to counter De Zerbi's tactics. Just they get hit on the break too easily, and that's exactly what happened. West Ham's possessive statistics were very low compared to Brighton's. It was insane stat. I can't remember what it was. It was like 20% possession. Brighton dominated most of the game. They just hit on the break extremely well. West Ham United did, and I think, looking at what happened against Aston Villa just a few weeks ago, Newcastle, I think they can do the same. I think they will do the same. Newcastle, can I say, I've been drawn into a crazy Champions League group. I just watched that today. It was kind of mad, but yeah, I think Brighton are going to get found out. I don't think it's going to be as bad as the Aston Villa game. I'm going to say Newcastle 3, Brighton 1 once again. The most boring game of the game week, Crystal Palace versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Palace with a 1-1 draw against Brentford, which is a quite good result for them, I think. Pretty decent result for them last week. They've got absolute ballers in their team. Anderson with a bloody worldie to get the draw against Brentford. He's a quality player. Eberechi Eze, Michael Olise snubbed Chelsea to stay at Palace, and I think he is here to stay. He's Palace born and bred, isn't he? Wolves on the other hand, they beat Everton, didn't they? They beat Everton 1-0 last week. I personally think that Wolves will stay up this season. People have been thinking that they might go down. It is a possibility, but if people like Cunha can really perform, bag some goals for Wolves, they could really be up to something this year. This is still a boring game. I don't think much will happen. Not really high scoring clubs. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Liverpool versus Aston Villa, and let's just say one thing. Last week I said Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1, and I predicted it exactly right. I'm very proud of that personally. Let's get into this game. Right, Liverpool, Aston Villa. Obviously, Darwin Núñez, take a bow, mate. Darwin Núñez did really well last game to bring it back for Liverpool. Mo Salah did very well in assisting them goals as well. And Van Dijk, the new captain with a red card, they still pulled through. They still made the comeback. Newcastle just couldn't hold on at St James's Park as well. Liverpool did extremely well. Aston Villa, on the other hand, beat Burnley 3-1. A very much comfortable result, a good result for Unai Emery. I think this could be a close game. I think this can be a close game. I'm gonna say, with Matty Cash doing extremely well last game, let's go with Liverpool 3, Aston Villa 3. A 6-game thriller game. 6-goal thriller. Let's go with that. Why not? And the last game of the week, it is in London, and it is Arsenal versus Manchester United. The biggest game of the game week. Problems for United. Loads of players injured. Rafael Varane, Luke Shaw, Tyrone Malacia, Mason Mount, and possibly Højlund. He could be making an appearance though. 9-goal season striker for 70 million is not worth it for me. I don't know how Rasmus will do, but I guess we will see that. We will see that. Everything is backing Arsenal. Everything is backing Arsenal to win this game. But deep down, I've got this feeling, right? I've got this feeling that Manchester United are going to pull through. I don't know why. Alright? I don't know why. This may be the craziest prediction of the week, but I'm gonna go with Manchester United 2, Arsenal 0. Even with the injuries, I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. Let's go with that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, please subscribe, please hit that notification bell. Do everything. Do everything. Makes me happy. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.